and welcome to the P.
Welcome to Pokésports. Welcome, one and all, to Pokésports, a competitive Pokemon podcast. I'm Mike, and I finally have a soundboard.
I'm Kevin, and Mike gave me no time to think today. Hey, everybody.
Everyone knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. One day I would get a soundboard, and it would be done.
You know what's sad is that this P joke probably extends beyond 3 years of Pokésports.
Oh, absolutely.
This was like a episode 5 joke that we are now just capitalizing 3.5 years later.
We wanted this 158 episodes ago, and we finally have it. And you know what? It's very bare bones for now. We don't have very much on it. I have 10 Pokemon cries, the P, and the Pokésports intro and outro. That's it.
That's all we need.
That's all we need. But I might pepper in some of the cries that we used in the preach over the episode, over the course of the episode.
like right now. Hey guys, did you ever want to know what Don Dozo sounds like? Now you do.
You're so lucky that I remembered which one it was, because they're labeled 1 through 5.
Oh, yeah.
On
I probably should have used yours. Oh well,
it's fine. So you know what? We'll use those as transitions for the next little bit. All right, let's get into the podcast. This is going to keep us so structured.
Oh yeah, we're gonna know exactly what we're talking about at all times.
Exactly. First of all, there's a little something I want to talk about today. Okay. I've gotten a couple of comments on the most recent Mike Pokésports video about this little guy. That's Clawitzer. Clawitzer is a fantastic Pokemon, and I don't think it gets enough credit. I just used it in a recent video, and you know what? It was largely positive. A lot of people were saying good things about Clawitzer. Very happy about that. But there was one comment that I just want to talk about, and that's the moves that Clawitzer gets. Clawitzer has this thing called Mega Launcher. Mega Launcher increases the power of Pulse moves and Aura Sphere. So Terrain Pulse, Heal Pulse, Water Pulse, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and I swear there's one more, but I'm not. Heal Pulse, thank you. Now, specifically with Water Pulse, one person was comparing Water Pulse to Hydro Pump and saying that, fun fact, Hydro Pump actually does more damage. And while that's true, it does highlight something that I have been very passionate about since this game came out. The fact that Scald is no longer in this game for most of the Pokemon. It exists for like 2 Pokemon now. It's a Volcanion signature move.
I think Volcanion is actually the only one that gets
the only one.
The only one, yeah.
So you can get it through Volcanion or Metronome.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And I believe Scald was what, 80 power?
80 with a chance to burn. Yeah.
80 with a chance to burn. So if you were using that with the 30 power less than your Hydro Pump, but it has the trade-off of always hitting, or 100% accuracy at least, and the chance to burn. Let's actually compare Water Pulse to Hydro Pump here. Water Pulse with Mega Launcher is a 60 power move plus Mega Launcher. That's a 90 power move. Okay. It has a 20% chance to confuse and is 100% accurate. And then you have Stab, but we can just negate Stab here because they're both of them water types.
They're both Stab, yeah.
Used by water type Pokemon. When you use Water Pulse 10 times, all 10 times you are going to hit a Pokemon. When you use Hydro Pump, yes, it has 110 base power. It has 80% accuracy. So out of 10 times you use it, 2 of those times you're going to miss.
You're missing half of them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And because you're missing 2, you're missing 6. Not only that, but with Water Pulse, 2 of those times, you're actually confusing the Pokemon.
Yeah.
You're confusing the enemy.
I'm Team Water Pulse here.
I'm super team Water Pulse. I honestly, with all of the misses that I've had with Iron Bundle or with any Pokemon that has Hydro Pump, really, I would rather take an always hitting Water type move.
I mean, if you really want to like put this into the perspective of competitive Pokemon, because I'm sure not a lot of people can look at a Clawitzer and make a comparison with Clawitzer because they never use Clawitzer.
Right.
Iron Bundle. If Iron Bundle was allowed to have a base 90 special water move, ignoring the fact of the secondary status effect, I would probably have that over Hydro Pump on Iron Bundle.
If Iron Bundle got Scald, we'd be using it.
I think Iron Bundle's biggest problem is Hydro Pump.
Yeah. The fact that it can miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, Walking Wake, that's another whole case right there.
For Hydro Steam, baby.
Yeah, Hydro Steam is going to be widely used from Walking Wake.
Fun fact about Pulse moves, now that I have Bulbapedia open, did you know that Heal Pulse with Mega Launcher heals for 75% of the target's maximum HP?
Yup.
You put that thing next to, like, I don't know, Tanglu, good luck. It's not going anywhere.
Does Clawitzer get Heal Pulse?
It is the only Mega Launcher Pokemon that does, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, the more you know.
There are only two, right?
There's Mega Blastoise and the Clawitzer line.
Right. Okay, and so they get Heal Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
The Clawitzer line does, yeah. And other fun fact, did you know Origin Pulse also gets boosted by Mega Launcher, but there's no way to get it onto a Pokemon that has Mega
unless
Launcher.
You skill swap, right?
Yeah, you'd have to skill swap or role play or trace or do receiver, but that since Clawitzer and Blastoise both don't get skill swap,
right?
You have to juggle a lot to get that to happen.
Right.
You have to skill swap and then skill swap again on a swap in. Too many setups.
So here's something else. Terrain Pulse is a very interesting pulse move where it becomes the attack type of the terrain that it's on. So if you're in electric terrain, grass terrain, misty terrain, psychic terrain, it becomes electric, grass, fairy, psychic, respectively. It's base 50 power, but it gets the bonus of being on that terrain. So if you're on psychic terrain, you get the 50% boost up to 75, but then you also get the psychic terrain boost of 30% while you're on that. So you actually end up doing more damage, I believe.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Because it adds on like 20 something.
You essentially gain a stab off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you terastalize and you do even more damage. Indeedy Clawitzer. Let's go, folks.
Who needs expanding force?
Nobody.
Have Terrain Pulse.
We did it. We've legitimized Clawitzer sufficiently.
No, but anyway. I'm glad that you had a good experience with Clawitzer.
It was a lot of fun and people really enjoyed it. So you know what? I might stream with it later this week. That's a fun one. That's Hariyama. Let's move on. Inteleon. In Inteleon news, we are getting a 7-star Inteleon raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
We're getting one step closer to Incinesports, baby.
We are so close to Incinesports. That's like 1 degree away from Incinesports.
They're teasing us at this point, right?
Yeah, right?
So sad. They're giving
what
us everything else.
What was the fire? Oh, that was Cinderace. Cinderace was the fire starter from this one.
Yeah, they're probably going to give us Rillaboom next, if we're going to be honest.
Oh, I would love to see Rillaboom in this meta.
I think Rillaboom would be really good right now. It's not going to be as cracked as it was before,
right?
Because Grassy Glide isn't there. But listen, a great way to deal with Dozo is just smack it with the wood hammer. yeah, smack it with a wood hammer and grassy terrain. Good luck. Mm-hmm. Also, just having grassy terrain as a terrain, we don't really have it except for Arboliva right now, which doesn't actually count. No. You got to hit it first.
Well, and also Rillaboom gets Fake Out, which is really important to use. It's just got a really good kit. You know, it's also got Stomping Tantrum, and in a meta where a lot of Pokemon are protecting or spiky shielding, Stomping Tantrum works really well.
Also, like, really good stats for what it is.
Yeah, great stats for the cost. Let's look at Rillaboom. That's funny. It's the Inteleon raid. We're all like, okay, let's look at Rillaboom.
Yeah, forget Inteleon. Who cares about that one?
This sets a precedent that Rillaboom's coming soon.
Yeah,
base 100 HP, base 125 attack. That's not bad. This is the gen where they made the starters really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Like I want to say the more recent one that wasn't made like super well would be Gen 5. Because we're looking at like
disappointing, yeah.
Embor specifically.
Embor and Polion and no.
I like the Pokemon, but it's got
Superior.
That? Superior, yeah. Superior and Polion and thing.
Samurott, yeah. That was a weak generation.
The speed tiers, though, it's just so strange looking at Embor because that's like base 65 speed.
I mean, so is Ensign, base 60.
Yeah, but at least Embor did something. It had Reckless for its hidden ability.
Whack.
Yeah. At least Superior had Contrary. Contwewy.
And I think Samurott is getting sharpness or has sharpness, or what's going on with Samurott? Should have sharpness.
Samurott, Hisuian Samurott had sharpness.
Okay, so that's going to be the clearly better one.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even a contention.
The other one had shell armor.
Yeah, lol. Congratulations.
From critical hits. Yay.
You know that thing you were doing 1 out of 24 times? Can't happen anymore.
Well, that's why I liked Hisuian Samurott, because they just took Samurott and made it better.
Oh yeah, they had adding dark type to anything nowadays. It's so crazy how good dark got. Because I remember dark being not good in like Gen 6 because they introduced fairies and fairies were kind of overpowered. But since then, they've just added so many dark types and so many steel types that it's like they balanced it in both directions. And I feel like dark is just in such a great place right now.
For sure.
Okay, Inteleon's ice type. Use Crabominable if you want to beat it, I guess.
Inteleon's ice type, sorry?
Yeah. The raid is never the actual type of the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's an ice type Inteleon raid. Cool. Yeah, Crabominable is probably good. That's a Tinkaton. All right. Let's move on. What is our next thing here? Oh, the global competition. Global challenge. Global Challenge 2023, number 2. Rewards and ranks are out. So if you haven't gone and checked that yet, definitely go and check that.
Go get your Great Ball backpack.
Get that Great Ball backpack. Did you participate like fully in the GC 2?
No, not fully. Really? I only played day 1 and 2, and then I got sad day 3, and I didn't play it.
What do you mean got sad?
Well, I got sad day 2 at the end, so I was just like, man, screw this. Because here's the thing: the team I brought is Hard Trick Room.
Okay.
And one of my hardest counters is like Imprison Trick Room for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I can't see an open team sheet to know that Fluttermane has Imprison Trick Room. So it's like, I encountered 4 of those in one day. And I'm just like, is this what people are doing?
You encountered 4 Imprison Trick Rooms?
Imprison Trick Room Fluttermane specifically.
Oh, wow.
To the point where I just started seeing Fluttermanes and getting scared and was like, I'm not going to click Trick Room. They're going to imprison me. And then those just attacked me instead. So I don't know. Maybe Hard Trick Room ain't the play for closed sheets. Maybe that's just like an open team sheet thing that I can do.
I would agree. I mean, I feel like if you're bringing in Hard Trick Room, it's kind of like you're giving your opponent an open team sheet.
That is fair when I don't have one. The thing is, like, if I know they have Imprison Trick Room, the problem with Imprison Trick Room and why I would actually say Imprison Trick Room isn't reliable for like open team sheet formats is because if you're a Trick Room player and you know what's happening, then that's one Pokemon on their side of the field that isn't attacking you. That's one Pokemon on their side of the field that isn't protecting. And that's one Pokemon on their side of the field that if it goes down, you can Trick Room next turn. So all you do is blast it. right? You just throw everything you have at it. And then you trick them next turn.
You just trick them next turn. Yeah, I mean, they're closed team sheets, but you're still able to choose between 4 moves. So,
but if it's closed, the Trick Room user encounters the issue of now I've wasted a whole turn to do absolutely nothing.
Right.
And I'm slower next turn, and I've taken damage from your side mod.
It's the same idea as like when you attack into a protect.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, okay, that was a wasted turn from that Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Just that feels bad moment. I had enough of those that I was just like, okay, maybe 3 will be my day. Maybe 3 is the one. Also, guys, you could sign up for Global Challenge 3. That is going to take place next weekend, not this week.
Is that really already? Mm-hmm. Has that already dropped?
They opened signups before Global Challenge 2 finished.
That's amazing.
So
yeah, Global Challenge 3. Yeah. Okay, so we're still on Reg C, obviously. You still have to go through Nintendo.com to register your Pokemon Trainer account. If you've already done that through 1 and 2, then you don't have to do that. But yeah, that's great. It goes from Thursday, May 4th, starting at 5 p.m. PDT, to Sunday, May 7th at 4:59 PDT.
And may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you indeed. That's a King Gambit.
That's a King Gambit. Yep. Shink.
That's it. If you want Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, and you missed your chance to get it the last time,
or you got a bad egg in your party because the patch broke it.
Pokemon is redoing that event. You can get that starting May 1st.
Exciting. I think I actually never got Walking Wake because I remember specifically we were rushing it for a video.
Yeah.
And I only got Iron Leaves because I was,
where does it go?
Because where does it go? Because I was the one that was going out to find it and bring it to the battle.
Right.
And you were getting the Walking Wake. So I was just like, well, I only really need to get this one. And then I I EV trained it. I boosted it to competitiveness. Then we made the video, and then
that was that. But you didn't
actually. And then the event was over. And then the event was over the next time.
You didn't have time. What? Yeah. No, I mean now you can. Great.
Yay.
And now I'm playing on a new save, so I guess I can get both.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Have I finished that game yet? No.
Have you checked to see if your Koraidon was released from Purgatory?
No, I haven't.
Maybe the game update fixes that problem.
Oh, it does. No, it doesn't.
No,
They're
too busy fixing Zoroark.
We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, there's I have a bugged Koraidon in my party from me trying to duplicate an item.
Don't exploit the game.
Don't exploit the game. You get locked. It's fine. But yeah, that's anyway, whatever. I don't even remember what that one was. It was number 3. What was your number 3?
Baxcalibur. You never remember Baxcalibur again. 3 times you've forgotten Baxcalibur.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of patch 1.3, we've got patch 1.3. That came out on April 20th, which as of today was less than a week ago. Because of course, the second that we drop a podcast, they're like, okay, cool, let's do all the things.
Yeah.
And make it
literally
irrelevant the day after. Come on.
You know what's funny is that on that podcast, we specifically said, hey, you remember that they released a patch and then never did anything afterwards? That day, they released a patch.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, hey, version 1.3. 2 months after 1.2.
This will shut up those 2 guys on the internet.
I mean, it was kind of a lighter patch, right? Involved people who caught an egg by mistake in. Oh wow, I like how they worded this. Fixed an issue where players who caught an egg by mistake in version 1.1 instead of Walking Wake and Iron Leaves can now catch these Pokemon during the event repeat. So they're basically saying, hey, if you messed up, but we'll give you another chance. I don't know if that's how that worked.
I wonder if the eggs ever hatched, or they were probably just bad eggs, right?
Probably. I don't know.
I
don't know. It mixed with the fact that like you can't use these Pokemon yet. Yeah. What else has been made? A change has been made to the deadline for entries for friendly competitions, which are now found in the online competition section of the Battle Stadium. So they've kind of fixed how the friendlies work. Before the change, entries were allowed in the friendly competition until the friendly competition began. And then after the change, entries will be allowed until the friendly competition ends, which is unlike the global competition, which you have to sign up beforehand.
It's not considered friendly, right?
Right.
That's fair.
Then they fixed a bunch of stuff with Zoroark. Fixed a bug where Zoroark, when Zoroark terastalized using its illusion ability, it would still disguise itself as the other Pokemon. That did not happen before. On the check status screen, the terastalized Zoroark's type would display as the original type of the Pokemon that it had disguised itself as, rather than Zoroark's Terra type.
Just a bunch. They didn't figure Zoroark out before getting this game underway. That's very clear.
It's hard to do, you know? Like, you know how we were all complaining, or not complaining, but like speculating of what adaptability would do? I think like Game Freak was probably thinking the same thing. Like, what are we going to do for that? Like they probably put the same level of thought as we do on that kind of thing.
I would hope they put more level of thought than we do on this kind of thing.
Well, they certainly put a high level of thought into Zoroark. Also fixed a bug that occurred when Zoroark used its illusion ability to disguise itself as another Pokemon that had already terastalized. The bug caused Zoroark's type on the check status screen to incorrectly display as the Terra type of the Pokemon Zoroark had disguised itself as. So if you had sent out a Skeledirge and terastalized Ghost and then flipped it into Skeledirge, Zoroark Skeledirge, it would say that its type is just Ghost.
What's happening here? I'm surprised anyone found these bugs.
Well, here's an interesting one. Like the day before the patch dropped, people were sharing around this information about Cudchew.
Yeah.
Cudchew specifically.
Cudchew was cracked and no one knew.
Nobody knew. And then the day after I started seeing those tweets, I saw the Cudchew fix. Fixed a bug where the Cudchew ability would trigger again once every 2 turns after it triggered the first time, contrary to what is written in the ability description.
People just thought that's the way Cudchew worked. It's apparently not that good. That makes a lot of sense, because in my brain, I'm like, when you give only 2 Pokemon Cudchew, you give Giraffe and Paldean Tauros Cudchew, and then you give them 2 other abilities that are just absolutely cracked. You really expect me to know what Cudchew does? Like you expect me to know what Cudchew does when my choices are Cudchew or Armor Tail? Yeah,
right. And then the last one here, fixed a bug in double battles with moves that cause stat changes for the Pokemon using the moves.
Oh, did you know about this?
No, I didn't know about this. This bug caused the stat changes to incorrectly happen twice if the user hit 2 opposing Pokemon with the move while an opposing Pokemon was behind a substitute. No, tell me about this.
So the situation where this would be relevant is that if there was a Pokemon behind a substitute and you clicked Make It Rain on Golden Go, you would get the -1 for the Pokemon in the substitute and outside the substitute. So the substitute counted as a different Pokemon on a different turn is what it sounds like in the code. So you would get a -2 drop instead of a -1.
So if you were a Golden Go behind a substitute.
No, if you were a Golden Go using Make It Rain on an opposing Pokemon behind a substitute.
Okay.
You would go to -2 instead of -1 because it counted the substitute as a separate Pokemon on turn 0.
Being attacked by a separate attack.
Yes.
Okay.
In theory. Or you using the attack twice, like in Instruct.
Right. Okay. So it would attack the Pokemon beside the substitute, make the drop, and then it would attack the Pokemon that is the substitute, and then it would give you another drop.
I guess in like damage calculation, yes. And it would make you -2.
The ultimate counter for Golden Go.
We did it, substitute. Well, not anymore. Sorry. Get good.
And then there was some Go connectivity that was fixed, which is great. And then there was a bug afflicting trainers who received a Hisuian Zoroark from the mystery gift screen as a special early purchase bonus for the hidden treasures of Area Zero for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet without having first seen Zoroark in their game. This bug caused Zoroark to be incorrectly displayed as registered in these trainers' Pokedexes. They perfected Zoroark with this version. I hope so. 1.3.
At this point, like, what else is there to know?
Other select bug fixes have been implemented, they say, and I'm sure that at least 7 of them have to do with Zoroark.
Those are just the ones they told us about.
Yes, right.
Thank you. Is Zoroark done? Did we figure Zoroark out?
Have we finished with Zoroark yet? And that's what makes me wonder. I was like, how are these coming to light? Because people are not using Zoroark in VGC, at least. I feel like people are using it in singles.
They first started appearing. Ability. Yeah, most likely in like lower tiers of singles. But I think they first started appearing when Hisuian Zoroark was gifted to us. That's when we first started caring. We're like, oh, yeah, this Pokemon's broken. Hisuian Zoroark is used a lot for raids. Can be used for raids. I've seen it in some raids. I think Typhlosion it was pretty good against because Typhlosion can't hit you back with ghost moves.
Oh, true. Yeah, normal ghost, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was number 4. Which one was that?
Skeledirge.
Skeledirge. Moo.
Move over.
Every Pokemon is a cow. Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about the New Jersey local that's coming up. We've got the Garden State Cup details. Kevin, you want to talk about this?
So Garden State Cup, also, if you guys don't already know, and you're from the tri-state area, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, etc., there's a New Jersey Discord that's popping with like locals. Like it's a very big Discord. Locals nearly every single weekend. One that we're showcasing today is going to take place May 13th at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's the weekend before Hartford regionals as well. So if you're going to if you're from the tri-state, you're going to Hartford most likely. Yeah. So this is really good practice for Hartford before Hartford happens. It's going to be in Mount Laurel Township in New Jersey. Location is PDK 9. Yes, that is a Jurassic Park reference, by the way.
Oh.
With top 4 prizing and $100 prize pool. Sounds like a fun time. I mean, if you've never been to a local, I would consider definitely checking this one out. Especially
I'm going to correct you there. I messed up. The prizing is not just $100 prize pool. The prizing is based on the number of entries. So it's $15 to entry, and then your prizing is going to be that prize pool plus $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then that's obviously split amongst the winners. Then, of course, the winner will also be awarded the inaugural Garden State Cup, which I would love to go and see. But yeah, as Kevin says, it's the tournament's going to be capped at 40 players. So if you haven't registered and you want to register, please do make sure that you do.
Yeah, don't wait,
because those places are going to fill up quick. We do have some friends of the podcast that are going to be going to this one. One of which being Pengy. So if you want to go and get some good practice against a really good player, I'm sure it's not just Pengy who is the great player there, but that's a great player that I know of. So definitely go and check that out.
We'll leave a link to this in our show notes as well, in case you're looking for it.
That's
Can
right.
we do that? We could do that. That's a podcast thing to do.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's there. All right. What should I hit here? There we go.
Perfect.
Yep. Last week, I asked the question, if you could name the new turtle-looking Pokemon anything.
Oh, yeah. I'm hyped
What
for
would
this.
you name it? Yes. So there was a new, looks like a baby form of Terapagos, but might not be a baby form, might be something else. Pokemon revealed through the Pokemon anime, the new Pokemon anime.
They didn't give us a name.
They didn't give us a name, so we asked you to name it. We've got one here called Squirtuga.
I like that one.
I like it a lot.
Squirtuga.
Good one, Mason. Yeah. Now, I mean, I feel
Mason?
like because
Is
we've
that
already
Dundee?
named, I feel like because we've already named a turtle Squirtle, we can't go with another Squirt.
But it's Squirtuga though.
It is Squirtuga, so you're not wrong there. So I'm just going to publish that. There we go. Gerardo says Terapaguitos.
Terapagitos? That's cute. It's like a little Terapagos.
It's like a little guy.
Terapagito.
Just a little guy. It's his first day.
Terapagito.
Hey, Terapagito.
It is in Paldea. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Spanish.
Mm-hmm. We've got Walkie Torty.
Because it's a tortoise, which everyone loved that you learned live on the podcast last week.
My guy. I cannot believe that is the first time that I've ever heard that.
The difference. It's got a shell. It's a turtle.
For those who missed last week's podcast, it came to light that I didn't know the difference between a turtle and a tortoise. And I still think that I might have them confused. Is a tortoise the one with legs?
Yes. Well, They all have legs, Mike.
But with little
difference
feet?
Is the feet. Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. And a turtle has little fins.
Fins, because it's the water kind.
Cool. Fan says Burntle.
Hey, that's what I would call a Torkoal.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Jackson says Franklin for sure.
Oh,
just kidding. Probably
he just
Teratuga.
went nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, Teratuga.
It's the Teratuga.
Instead of Terapagos Teratuga, but we're gonna have Caracosta.
Oh, true. Caracosta, yeah.
It's also a turtle.
Michael says Jonathan.
I like that too.
Yeah, I'm down. And then Lupus gives us, it's a tortoise that's likely tied to the terastal phenomenon. So clearly the name has to be, then puts too many dots. Teratort.
All
right. I'm going to copy this and paste it to you because I just want you to see just how many dots you put. Like you just put a lot of dots.
Lupus, if you spent more time being our mod and less time writing these dots, you know how much work you could get done?
Isaac says Scoobert. I'm down for that.
I really like that one.
Yeah, just Scoobert.
Scoobert. Thanks, Scoob.
Seabass says they should have fun and break the character limit by using the first letter of every Pokemon name to name the new Pokemon. That would be cool. It would be cool to relate to the terastalization mechanic. I would love to see a 1095 or whatever character Pokemon. Just you send it out and it's like SWB CCC BIV.
I'm surprised you made it that far.
I made it very far, except Bulbasaur is number 1, right? So I think
yes.
Yeah, okay. So I messed that up already, but it's fine.
But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This game's already struggling as is. You put 1,000 character Pokemon name and send that out into battle, it will explode.
That's very fair. Yeah.
The Switch is gone.
I see a lot of people here talking about Teratuga, and I like it. And I really hope that we're
I guess that's
going with Teratuga.
That makes sense. I guess if we had to call it a name, we'll probably call it Teratuga at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's some people giving it names like Sam or Larry, and I like that a lot. And then Brandon says the Kaiju team conversation hurt me. Like when you forgot about Frosmoth and the Moth team conversation. Hydreigon is a 3-headed dragon like King Ghidorah. It was right there. And you know what? You're right.
What was their name?
Brandon.
I love you, Brandon.
Yeah.
Next.
Smolagos is good. This isn't exactly what y'all are asking, asks Raven Boy, but I need to get this out. An Eclair Cannon Pokemon. High physical defense and even higher attacks. Special move is physical damage, fairy fire type. I would love to see a fairy fire type. Is there no fairy fire type?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so. I doubt.
Okay, hold on. We need to address this one.
Uh-oh.
Sylveon Mewtwo says, okay, I need to look at this. Quastat. Oh no, I can't.
Let me try.
My little brain doesn't let me do it.
Quatstagui?
Quatstagui.
Quastagui? Hold on. Maybe Google can tell us.
Well,
we'll make
you don't have to worry about it because they put the whole etymology in there. Quartz plus crystal, and then plus
quartz
GUI,
plus crystal.
GUI,
so
Quastagui. Quastagi.
Question of this week. Pronounce this.
In Chinese, referring to Chinese mythology in Gen 9. P.S. I got a cute buddy Mewtwo plush. Oh, nice. And I best buddy Genesect in Pokemon Go. Nice one.
Also nice.
Yeah.
Quartz and crystal. Quatstagui.
Quastagi.
I like it. Honestly,
that's 5.
That sounds like a turtle.
Oh, that's Oinkalone. Right. All right, cool. Moving on. We talked about the global challenge, but we didn't actually mention who won said global challenge.
Good job.
Wouldn't you know it? It's Gabriel Agati.
That name sounds familiar. It's almost like we talked about him last week.
If that name sounds familiar, it might be because Gabriel Agati also won the EUIC.
Second place. Nice try,
Second
Mike.
place. He also came very close to winning EUIC. But it was the same team pretty much, right?
It was the same team. Palance is winning another major thing online. If you guys don't know what Palance is yet, you should. It's Fluttermane, Tinglu, Amoonguss, Arcanine, Palafin. I guess Tinglu doesn't have to be incorporated, but it's pretty much incorporated at this point.
Right. So yeah,
and he was running a 6th Pokemon, Mike. Do you remember what that 6th Pokemon was?
I have absolutely no idea. Now, it was the exact same team, seemingly, that he used to come in second with in the EUIC. So there you go. Also, I played a Pokemon Cry, so I guess I need to move on.
What team did you bring to the Global Challenge? Did we even talk about your Global Challenge run?
Yeah, I brought Violence.
Oh, yeah, you brought Violence plus a friend.
Yeah. So always need to bring old Greg, and then I brought basically Balance plus old Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're looking for your next competition, there's of course the Global Challenge 3, but there's also Fresno. If you're from California and you listen to this podcast, hi. I don't think we've ever really acknowledged our California audience, but I know there's a lot of you out there.
You listen to this at what, 4 a.m? When do you listen to this podcast?
3. They're 3 hours behind us.
And when do we post this?
6 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Fresno regionals are now open for registration. They're going to be held June 10th and 11th. Now, hopefully that means that NAIC is going to be open in the next few weeks as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'm not really nervous when it comes to signing up for these events. Because if you remember Sword and Shield, when there was like venue restrictions and size restrictions, if you weren't there when it refreshed, or you would lose out on a spot. Yeah. I kind of got the feeling that after these first couple of tournaments that it was going to be the same experience, but since we have so much more space available, you know, tournaments like Hartford are still open for signups. Yeah. So if you're considering going to Hartford, that's still an option. You don't have to be there right when the buzzer rings. I have a feeling NAIC, we will have to be there right when the buzzer rings. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think don't play around when it comes to NAIC, because EUIC went out in like a couple of minutes. Yeah. I think if you're there like right at the time that it opens, you're likely to get a ticket. Right, 10-15 minutes, yeah. Yeah, it's the same with me right now. Like, even though I know I can get tickets later, I am still going to be like stressed out right at 8 o'clock when that opens, because I'm like, okay, no, I just need to get it right now. It's a stressful time. I thought I was the only one that was like super stressed when it happens. It's like with the alarms 5 minutes before, Discord popping off, everyone's sending links to each other. Guys, it's about to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Refresh. I thought I was the only one. Oh, yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm right there with you. Actually, when I was registering for Milwaukee, I was sitting in the middle of my voice class, my vocal class. And I was just like, I need to go and do something. I need to step
bathroom.
out for a bit. So that was something. But it's been kind of fun going through these voice lessons. We're doing a lot of like character work. And yeah, I mean, it's like a 4-hour class on a Thursday night.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm exhausted by the end of it, but I am used to staying up late because of this thing.
It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always worth.
Yeah.
Okay, now do a voice in the character of Dondozo.
So Dondozo, let me listen to the reference.
Look at me, I'm Dondozo.
Hi, Kevin, how's it going?
Oh, you gave it like that old school pub, that sailor pub voice.
You know.
That would be a really good place to take him. Sailor pub.
I feel like Dondozo would probably go there if he wanted to go there.
Fun segue. Hey, Hartford has 727 registered players now.
No way.
Yeah, that's a lot more than what we left it off at.
That's Milwaukee's really good.
Nearly 500 for Milwaukee.
That is
which
surprising.
Is actually a lot. Yeah, a lot more than
I did not expect that to go as high as it did.
Heck yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely. NAIC is going to be just bonkers.
I'm excited to see. I'm pretty sure if there's gonna be, because everyone's waiting for which one's gonna break the kicker first, right? Because none have broken the kicker for Masters yet.
Okay.
To see how much CP payout is actually going to be for NAIC, because NAIC CP payout is already ridiculous.
What is it right now? It's like 400, right?
It's like well, that's just the top, but I think top like 128 get like ridiculously high CP. I can actually go and tell you by looking at EUIC real quick.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because once you
how do you accommodate that many people for Worlds then? If the CP threshold is 300 and you start hitting all these kickers from all these people going to the event, like, I mean, they still have capacity.
It's still difficult to get to 300, right? It's not an easy thing to do. Getting 300 CP total. I mean, if it were easy, everyone would do it.
Well, yes, but I feel like a lot more people are going to be doing it now because, just law of large numbers.
All right, I have numbers for you.
Okay,
EUIC with 773 Masters did not hit the kicker. The kicker is 800.
Okay.
So they ended up having number 128th.
Okay.
Who went 6-3. Got 100 CP. 100 CP, and they did not hit kicker. So what that means is that if they hit kicker for NAIC, top 250, what is it? What's 128 times 2? I don't want to give the wrong number. 256?
Yeah.
So that means top 256 is getting at least 100 CP.
Are you serious right now?
International challenges is just CP farming. That's why players fly to OCIC. That's why players fly to Latin America, EUIC. It's just CP farming. If you could consistently be good enough at this game to get a top 100, you are guaranteed 100 CP.
Right. That's really interesting. Because, I mean, I feel like the whole appeal for international challenges isn't necessarily for the best players to go out. It's for the best experience to be had. And this is true with international challenges. Is if you're looking for a great competitive Pokemon experience with all of the extra stuff going on, you definitely want to go to one of the nationals. But it doesn't necessarily mean that like the best players all go there. They all want to, but they don't necessarily. So if you are a good player, if you consider yourself a good player, and you want to go and try and give yourself the best chance to go to Worlds, definitely go to NAIC. Definitely go to EUIC. Yeah. Definitely go to all of the international challenges that you can without really breaking the bank. Like, I wouldn't suggest going to an EUIC if you're from North America, unless you have some way of like subsidizing that cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it makes very little sense to go out to an EUIC, but it makes all the sense in the world to go out to NAIC.
But if you ever had to choose whether to go to an IC or a regional and you could only choose one, always choose the IC.
Definitely. Because some people would think that like, oh, because the regionals have less people, you have a higher chance of getting CP. I don't think that's the case.
Not necessarily.
I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think the more people go to these internationals, the more CP they give out to more people. So it's just, I don't know, it's so much more worth it.
Top 256 getting 100 CP is wild to me. I just want to see what happens. I just want to see it happen.
I want to see it happen one time, because that means like, what would the top 128 get?
200.
200.
I think. I don't actually know how it gets divided, but that sounds pretty logical to me.
Does it though? Because that's sending a lot of people to Japan.
Okay. Either this happens.
Yeah.
Either top 128 still get 100, and then everything below until 256 gets 50.
Yeah.
Or 256 to 128 gets 100, and then 128 up to the next cap gets 150. I don't know. If it's just double, that's hilarious.
It would be a lot of fun to see that. I really want to see it.
Because the thing is, like, the reason why the system is in place is because if enough interest exists, enough people should be able to go to Worlds, which I totally understand.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I just want to see history be made. I want to see, hit that kicker for the first time ever.
Well, and what's funny too is Japan is currently seeing like a tourism boom.
Can't wait till August.
So
good luck.
They're already seeing a lot of people, and now they're basically inviting like hundreds of people potentially to come to Japan without needing to buy a ticket.
Do you need my address, Japanese government? I will send it to you.
What does that mean?
Buy my ticket. You said they're inviting people. Would you like my address?
Well, send me a ticket to the mail. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're still planning on going whether we get an invite or not.
But if it's free, it's better.
If it's free, it's better for sure.
You guys need a reason to go to Japan other than the fact that you're going to Japan and you have expendable income. Look at how much CP we're getting from ICs.
Mm-hmm.
Worlds is gonna have most likely the first IC of the 2024 season. That's usually what happens. It happened at the last one in London. It's probably going to happen at this one. There's always I guess they call it last chance qualifiers, but it's not really a last chance qualifiers because you're just getting points for next season. So what ends up happening is after day one, on day two, if you don't make Worlds day two, simultaneously you can be in the losers tournament, I guess is what it's called. But it's actually just a mini tournament that anyone can just join and get championship points for the next season. That's actually funny because there's some people that, because like if you get Worlds day two, but you are really not comfortable in the format, you can drop Worlds day two, just say, I'm probably not going to win this, so let me just work on next year and just be like, hey, last chance qualifiers.
Yeah. If you're just like, I'm really good at this current meta, so I'm going to work on next year where I hopefully will continue to be good at next year's meta.
Or if they're like, oh, I'm against Paul Chu round one. Okay, maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll be fine.
You definitely have that chance. Okay. Well, is that going to be it? What do you think? Is that a podcast?
Sounds like a podcast to me.
Sounds like a podcast to me. Well, if you are looking for some stuff to do this week, you can go and check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pokésports, or you can go and check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pokésports. As well, I will be dropping very, very soon information for the next league, the next competition, which will, of course, be continue to be Regulation C. But if you want your chance at winning a shirt, like our last winner, Roy Flash Gordon did, Please do go and check out patreon.com/Pokésports.
Also, a lot of new fancy shirts on the Pokésports.org website /merch. Got one of each Ruinous Legends and probably one of my favorite designs that we've uploaded on the merch store to this day.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Wo-Chen. We got a what did I end up calling them? I called them Angry Moose.
Called an angry snail.
Angry Moose.
Was an angry leopard.
An Angry Fire Goldfish.
Yep. Angry Fire Goldfish. That's it. And then, of course, we have a new entry in the Never Miss series. It's the Hydro Miss, which we all know and love. So, yeah, go and check those out over on the Pokésports merch website, Pokésports.org.
Gonna have new TikTok content this week as well, right?
Okay. Yeah, we've got so much stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Check it all out, Pokésports.info. All right. Well, that's going to be it for me. That's going to be it for Kevin. We'll see you next
I'm not
time.
done.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Kevin's not done. Well, you know what? You are.
Wait, you can't silence me.
I'm doing it.